Hello everyone, and welcome to today's garden tour. Starting from a different angle this time, and I made a few notes. I have a lot to cover. So for some of you that have been following along for the season, you might hear a little bit of repeated stuff, but this is as much a log for myself as it is, providing entertainment for my friends and family. But anyway, so settle in, grab yourself a drink or some popcorn. I'll try to do the important stuff first so that when you get bored, you can just stop and not feel bad. So anyway, I think I mentioned in the last video that we were going to be making a lot of changes, and those changes have almost all been done now. So I figured I would highlight a few things, and I'll also go into the cage today because I realized the fence look is really not that cool. So anyway, this is the left wing where we previously had zucchini that didn't grow very well, so we moved it to the auxiliary garden. I've gotten one banana pepper so far. This yellow pepper should be coming soon, and then I had a tomato growing on that plant amazingly, but then the birds got it. I'm having a big problem with birds getting into my tomatoes. So I had previously planted spinach and chard and kale, and now just this past, within the last week or so, I think Friday night, I planted beets and turnips and kohlrabi and carrots. So we already have some radishes coming up and some turnips coming up. So hopefully this is the place that doesn't get a lot of sun. It's very shady, so hopefully we'll get some stuff there. So you'll see, and I'll show you inside, the squash surgeon. For those who aren't aware, my husband was deemed the squash surgeon because he had to repair 3 of our squash plants over the last couple months. So the squash surgeon has built me several trellises for cucumbers. So here's this one, and you'll see we have about four cucumbers ready to pick. They're really going crazy. And then our little bee home had fallen, so he replaced that. And then this was the sunflowers that I planted late in the season, so I may never see them flower, but I figured I would try them out. And this was the other trellis for the cucumbers, and then we have this new one which goes from one side of the cage to the other, which is called the Arc de Cucumber. So now let's go in and check out some of these plants. So we do have double protection in addition to the cage. I also put another net in front. It locks, it closes. We have a lot of animals around here. So we've got lots of jalapenos coming, and they're really cute. The Brussels sprouts had taken a dive in the storm, but they seem to be doing okay now. I did take out all of the string beans that were previously here, and I've got cucumber and round squash and emerald zucchini. And here's, we added strawberry netting over all of these tomatoes, over the whole thing of tomatoes, just yesterday actually. So then we've got, this is the zucchini, the first one that the squash surgeon repaired. Not too much going on in there, but it is still hanging on. The grape tomatoes and the cherry tomatoes are going crazy, at least the grape are, and I've tried to kind of trellis them onto the cucumbers. We've got 2 eggplants growing. I may actually pick one of them this weekend and see how it is. Oh geez, I just see another cucumber down there. They really sneak up on you. Oh, and look at these cute little, the little tiny eggplants are so cute when they start. Actually, next year I want to grow patio eggplants because I honestly don't love eggplants too much. So I figured the small ones would be cute. They end up about that size. So, sorry, not a good shot there. Okay, so we got cucumbers now above us and trellising, which is kind of cool. So that'll be fun. Here, I think this one will actually turn into a zucchini. I'm guessing that was pollinated. We'll see soon enough. So I planted Aroma Tomato, one of my dollar clearance tomatoes, and that's doing really well. The The little sun sugars, which are delicious, are doing pretty well still, and crawling on my arm. Now we got some butch peppers. These are yellow peppers. Obviously not yellow yet, but all different sizes, finally coming. It's taken a long time for the peppers, and I don't think they're going to get that big before we have, wow, there's really a lot of them though. So we'll see. I won't judge the peppers yet. Oh, another cucumber back there. I was wrong in the last video when I thought that the pineapple tomato had flowered. It was actually the sun sugar that was leaning over on it. So, but I did take off a cutting and plant it of the pineapple tomato. So I'm sure I don't have enough time. I know I don't have enough time because it takes like 90 days. So I'll never see a tomato off it, but I wanted to see if it would grow. This year's all about experimenting. And this was the purple Cherokees, which I had like 5 of. And I got 1 out of the bunch because the birds ate, like, just pecked at like 4 of them. This is the Chinese squash, which actually is doing pretty well in this corner. This is the corner where the Roma Tomato was, which I actually transplanted. I was taking it out because it wasn't doing well, and then I said, oh, let me see if I can put it in the auxiliary garden and see what happens. And look at this. We got 1, 2, 3. That one's a little, oops, sorry, I'm not good with the camera. I'm aiming it. So that one's not great, but I think I'm picking 3 of those, at least by tomorrow. Oh, we got a yellow squash growing in there. Another one, I think, will pollinate. And then we got some actual big peppers. These are going to be orange, but these are pretty large. Okay, all right, so that is inside the cage. And we're moving on. So that's the important stuff. For those who are bored and want to sign off, feel free. For the rest of you, we're going to move on to the right wing and to the auxiliary and patio gardens. We're just getting started. Okay, so this is the right wing, which is one of my, that's like the most amazing tomato right there. I think it's got to be 12 feet by now. It's a better boy, or a big, that might be the big boy. Then we have a cherry tomato. And this is a squash that broke in the storm, the zucchini, but it did produce a zucchini that we had last week, and it was delicious on the grill. And there's another one starting. And then we had the pole beans and the snap peas, and some of those didn't work. So this, last week, I just planted shelling peas and snow peas. So now we have shelling peas, snow peas, snap peas, bush beans, and pole beans. So we'll see. So a little shot there of that's the third of the trellises, and it looks like another cucumber to pick. So anyone wants cucumber, let me know. All right. So, oh, and then of course we have to talk about the squash surgeon. So we had previously put up the one net, but then a few days ago we added this net. So we have now another net, and because the net was kind of falling in and the tomato was falling over, they were really tilting, he added string to the fence to support. And then over here we've got 3 different supports. So in addition to squash surgeon, he's also as structural engineer. For those that know, Joe is a civil engineer, and he actually a gardener is his new name. So he engineers everything in the garden. Okay, so we'll move on to the auxiliary garden. So here is where I have most of the clearance plants. When we had gone to our local garden store probably about a month ago, there was a whole bunch of tomato plants for $1, and we bought 7 of them. Not that I have room for them, but we made room. So they're all around here. There's all different types of tomatoes. They're very interesting ones. There's a yellow stuffer, there's a yellow cherry, just kind of weird ones I had never heard of. This Roma is doing pretty well. Really well, actually. It's not as great as the production I see on the YouTube videos I watch, but for myself, I'm pretty impressed right now. And we had one of these better boys the other day, and I have to say I liked it better than the Ruckers. So I did start a journal and started taking notes because I hadn't up to this point, and I said next year I'm going to kick myself. So in addition to the videos, I finally started an actual notebook where I'm noting some things. So here I do have powdery mildew that I need to, ooh, that's a bad one, that I need to treat, which I'll probably do right after this video. And then we do have a new yellow squash. forming down there. Pretty good size. And a second one. So this is the Roma tomato that used to be in the left wing. And it actually, it's not looking terrible. I don't know that I'll get anything out of it, but it's working. And then here is broccoli. So this week's funny story. I was done planting. I kept telling Joe that, after such and such, I'm going to be done. And then we went to Home Depot to pick oh God, these birds are scary sometimes, to pick up some stuff, and unrelated. And they had 6 broccoli plants for $4 and 6 cauliflower plants for $4. So, come on. It was the price of the beer that I bought later that afternoon that lasted a half hour. So why not give it a whirl, right? So we'll see what happens. Again, I might not see some of these things come to fruition, but it's kind of fun just to try them out. And then I know what I want for next year. So these are more of the dollar tomatoes. This one's doing really well, and that is a sweet gold, so more yellow cherries, which I seem to be really liking. So here's the yellow squash coming, 2, well maybe 2, I don't know if that one got pollinated. And more powdery mildew that I need to treat. And this one here is the one of the ones that came out of the left wing, which now actually has a zucchini, which may have been pollinated. It's a pretty decent size right now, so I'll keep you posted on that. Okay, so if you're still with me, we're moving on to the patio garden, and this will be our last stop. So we have the radishes, which were planted, I think, long enough ago. You can kind of see in there they are starting, but I pulled one the other day and it wasn't ready yet, so I'm giving them more time. And then I planted 2 new kinds of radishes on August 10th, apparently, because I did date some of my sticks. That's a radish French breakfast and Easter egg blend, which is like different colored ones. That should be cool. So they're growing pretty well. These are the microgreens that I got from Amazon. I ordered them. They didn't just arrive on my doorstep, for those who are concerned. So this is actually the second round of part of this. I had chopped all that and had a salad. I've got all these little fungus gnats though, which is really annoying. I'm trying to take care of them, but haven't totally solved it yet. That's why I have this nasty fly tape, which has actually, not to be gross, but caught a lot of them. But here we have chard and kale and spinach, which are the same as the ones I planted in the left wing. Then we've got our snap peas that, oh, look at that, I got another one. So I really love these snap peas. So, but this plant is not doing so well. They're actually cooler weather crops, which I learned after I planted them. But I'm hoping that the new ones that I planted down in the right wing and the ones in here will do better. But this one probably needs to come out soon. Ooh, and apparently we need to make pesto. That is some crazy basil. We've got some beans still that need to be pulled because beans are done. Some arugula, which also, I started some new arugula. We've got the fennel, which I need to pull. And then a lot of mint, which is starting to flower. Some patty pan squash seeds that I just don't have a pot for, so they might not get to grow, but we'll see. Oh, I think something's getting in here, because I don't think I made that mess of the dirt. But this is the popolo, for those who have watched before. This is the Mexican cilantro, which I was hoping would be really good and wouldn't taste like cilantro, because I'm one of those people who genetically does not like cilantro. The first time I tried it was very small. I had hope. Well, I tried it again a couple days ago and not so much. Still kind of weird. Not as bad as cilantro, but also not good. Oh, maybe they did get in here. Okay. So I basically have to like cage and put wire and netting around everything because we have so much nature around us. So another great basil. This basil over here, I might have killed with my fertilizer spray. I have like a fertilizer hydrogen peroxide pesticide combo. Oh my god, these birds are going nuts. So, sorry, I digress. So that one might be done, but I'm hoping it'll spring back to life. And then we've got the forget-me-not flowers over there. This gorgeous sage plant, for those of you who are with me from the beginning, this is what it looked like when the groundhog got it the first time, and it actually grew back to this amazingness again. So that's pretty exciting. Then we've got our thyme and pineapple sage and oregano and rosemary and chives. I did just plant some parsley, which I think just broke through the other day, and dill in that corner, which broke through because dill, I learned, also likes the cool weather, and so that got kind of done with the sun. Now, I thought I was done, and I was only going to plant a few things more, like a couple weeks ago. But then I ordered these 20 pots from Home Depot that were like $3 each, and they arrived. So I have tiny Tim tomatoes, which are like small bush tomatoes, and I moved the strawberries over there. Well, one of the strawberry runners. The other strawberries are still hanging. I planted 3 types of basil, including purple, which I've heard is good. This is a cucumber. It's either pickling or Space Master. Somehow I didn't put a tag in there, but it's really going great. The tiny Tim tomato, that is a Black Beauty squash. Pineapple tomato, just to see if it will grow. This was a Glacier Bush tomato that I need to thin out now. I moved the watermelon, which used to be in the main cage, not getting enough sun, so I moved it to here. I don't know if it will do well. Another experiment. Then I just planted scallions, 2 types of scallions. Oh, and that's a cantaloupe muskmelon blend. So over here we have 4 types of mesclun. 1, 2, 3 I ordered, and 1 I got as a thank you because I ordered too much apparently. And alfalfa sprouts and other salad mix sprouts, and then spinach, baby greens. And that's 3 types of romaine that have not broken dirt yet, and arugula. And this is all the broccoli and cauliflower. Ooh, and we got the cabbage bugs already on there. I hate these things. They're all over the Brussels sprouts. So anyway, this is the broccoli and cauliflower that doesn't fit anywhere else. So it's like 8 plants. And then over here we have the patty pan squash. They're pretty cool looking. I'll have to show you pictures of those if and when they come through. It's like scallop blend, that one's called. I think that's more cantaloupe melons, because I have a really hard time, like when you plant 3 seeds and all 3 grow, you're supposed to thin them out and just, I guess throw out the other 2, but I have a hard time doing that, so I try to plant them, and therefore I did. Bok Choy, so I got Bok Choy going. Another squash, Emerald Delight, that's either the broccoli or cauliflower. That's the broccoli, then the cauliflower. Then this is a round squash. This is leaf lettuce, the salad bowl blend it's called. And here is more romaine lettuce. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's see if we can see the... Oh yeah, see, here's the dill. So the dill is starting to come up. I planted that just within a few days ago, or maybe a week ago. And then I think this is one of the little parsleys. I love watching them sprout, like when they break through. It's just exciting. I really need to get out more. In good news, we actually did go for a bike ride this weekend. So we ventured out and we went out to dinner. So it's big stuff. Oh, we just planted these gladiola bulbs this year. So beautiful gladiola. The butterfly bush, which I have learned this year to trim back the dead flowers. So in between I cut this off, and then the others grow. So it has really just taken off in so many directions. And then actually lastly, I planted 1 broccoli over there, but it's not caged, so I'm sure a squirrel will get it. Then I've got a cucumber over there, a tomato, and then a Roma tomato, another dollar tomato, which is doing pretty well. So I think I covered everything. For anyone who is still here, thank you. Hope you enjoyed your drink. And for those who are wondering, there were no shots involved in filming this, but I am waiting to have a nice glass of wine. And then over there, oh, there's the strawberries. So I do have 2 hanging baskets of strawberries, which have done pretty well. All the strawberries have been tiny, but it's been fun to grow them. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is usually when I'd say, please comment below and let me know what you think. So, as I practice my YouTube channel. But thanks again for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye.